Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. So it has been almost 2 years since we listed land in this region. This is a really nice area where we have buyers who are constantly asking us, when will you have more property in this area? Rarely a month goes by that I don't get like a handful of calls or emails or even questions on YouTube. Will you have more land here? The area is notable because it sits high atop the valley, and you have these sort of amazing views from this region, number one. Number two, but as you see in the headline here, it is also RV friendly, which means it's ideal for camping for lengthy periods of time without getting hassled. And so this is one that really tends to appeal to our buyers who want campsites, who want places that they can RV and just kind of park for long periods of time. But even more so because of these stunning views that we talk about here. So the area is called the Black Mesa. It's in Rio Grande County, and I've got 2 properties there this week. The video you're watching right now is going to be posted on both listing pages. These properties are not adjacent. They're relatively far apart from one another, but all the information covered here will pertain to both equally. So the first property is RA&M 6425. This is about a ½ acre of land for $750. The second property, and the one I'm going to work off here with the video, is 4½ acres, which we're selling for $3,500. I just want to quickly note we've got a drone video up here at the top of the page. It's going to be moved to the bottom of the page below the photo gallery, replaced with the video you're watching right now, me talking. But this drone video will give you an excellent sense not only of the usual property terrain surroundings, but also of exactly how beautiful the views are up here, and just how picturesque the scenery is, and what sort of views you're going to have of the valley. So, with all that said, let's bring this up on a map, show you guys exactly where this is. As with all of our listings, come down here, click the GPS coordinates, and it will bring it up here on the Google Maps. So, before we get into specifics, let's just pull back a little bit, talk about where this is. As noted, the property is in Rio Grande County. Rio Grande sits up here in the northern part of the state, just shy of the Colorado border. The property is about equidistant between both Santa Fe down here and Taos up here northeast. Santa Fe south, Taos northeast. And if we right-click and measure distance, you will see that, for instance, Taos itself is, 26 miles as the crow flies. Maybe it's a 30, 35-minute drive, something like that. Santa Fe is about the same. So you've got 2 of the, just sort of the coolest towns in New Mexico. They're really right in your backyard here. Additionally, the property itself sits just outside of Española. For those of you who are not familiar with Española, I can tell you that it's got a Walmart supercenter, which means it's got pretty much everything else. You've got schools, churches, hospitals out here, every sort of fast food restaurant you can imagine. High school football fields you can see from space, go Sun Devils, etc. So point is, any sort of groceries or supplies that you're going to need if you elected to live in this region are going to be very close by here in nearby Española. All right. With all that said, the property itself, as noted, is located on the Black Mesa. What is the Black Mesa, you're asking? So mesa, of course, means table in Spanish, which means it's a very flat area. If we go to the 3D view here on Google, which I feel like they got rid of for a while, and now it's back. If you go to the 3D view here and you kind of hold down Control and you kind of scroll your mouse around a little bit here, wiggle the mouse, you can get a sense of, number one, this very flat area, but number two, the fact that it sits high above the valley. Now, my understanding is it's about 1,000 feet above the rest of the valley. So from up here, you're going to have excellent views of just what we're looking at right now, not only nearby Española, but the sort of beautiful mountain ranges that you have up here within northern New Mexico. Point being, a lot of really pretty views. I'll get into a little bit more later in the photo gallery, but you can get a sense if you do this with Google of exactly how this thing sits up above the rest of the area. It should also be noted the Rio Grande kind of snakes through this area as well, so you're going to be high up above that. If I go back to 2D view here, I just want to point out to you guys, so anybody who's looking at this property should be aware of a couple things. There are some logistical challenges in building out here. I don't know that these properties are ideal for anybody who's saying, oh my god, I want to build a really nice house in a really picturesque area. The developer who bought up all this land back in the 70s. The name was Croson, and I know this because I've seen it on about 7 million deeds. I believe their original intention was to build make this area for like $1 million homes and hotels and things like that because it boasted these great views. And then somebody realized, oh hey, we're 1,000 feet up. We can't get water out here. We can't drill a well, etc. So that's the first logistical concern that you would have if you were going to build out here, which is how do you get water? We sold 20-some properties out here. I'm aware of 2 people who, when last I spoke to them, said that they were living out there. and they were doing holding tanks, bringing water up and down, once a week or something like that. Rainwater catchment, I suppose, theoretically is also an idea. But the point is, don't anticipate that you're going to buy this property and be able to drill a well. Number one. Number two, if you scan the Google satellite view here, you're going to see some home sites out here. You're not going to see a lot. Now, I believe there are probably more that exist out here than Google satellite image represents, but well, here's one, here's another. But the point is, if you buy this land, don't anticipate that, oh, I'll just be able to hook up to the grid. No. There's power lines up here to be certain, but these are industrial power lines, or commercial power lines, or whatever exactly they're called. They're not residential power lines. And residential power lines may exist here. You may find something like this where they've probably got some kind of, power box or something out there. But realistically, you're likely going to be too far from anything to affordably get connected. I mean, talk to the local power company. It may be an option. But point is, if you're looking at this as someplace like, oh my God, I want to go out here and build. This looks great. Just anticipate that solar is going to be the way that you're getting power to the structure. Okay. And finally, just when we talk about logistics, I just want to point out to you guys, the way that you actually get up to the mesa is this little road right here which snakes down the hillside. Now, you can get RVs up there, you can get mobile homes up there, I know they exist up there, and I've talked to enough people who've bought land from us or who've scouted properties from us in the past. This road, however treacherous this looks in Google Maps, this is actually pretty easy to get up and down. This is not going to be a problem. So, but the point, I was talking about logistics, but the point is down here on the road, if we zoom in, you will see there is a gate here. Now the gate will not be a problem. We have the key code to the gate. But the point is I just want to make you guys aware of this, particularly if you're going to go scout the property, call our offices, we'll give you the gate code so you can go out there and get up to the top of the mesa. With all that said, let me go down to the photo gallery because I want to show you guys exactly what these properties look like. Again, I'm on the 4.5 acre page. This one has, each of these properties, of course, have legal access, but this one, however, has legal easements along both its southern and western boundaries. So I just want to make you aware of that. This lot is sort of a corner lot, and actually if you go to the plat, which we have right here, you can also see that this lot number 9 is sort of corner lot out here. Now, that being said, the roads on top of the mesa, I mean, these are not heavily trafficked roads, so it's not like you're going to get up there and find, paved roads or something that's been driven a million times. My understanding, particularly if you look at some of these photos, is you'll see the roads out here are, fairly navigable, fairly easy to drive, particularly if you've got a larger vehicle, it won't be a problem. But there is a lot of brush out here. There's a lot of sort of unmaintained area, we'll say. So these legal easements may exist on a plat map more than they exist in reality, but the point is you will have legal access to the property. So if this is something that you do want to come out and really start to develop, you may have to get the county out to help you with actually getting the road out there a little bit, but the point is it does exist and you will have that legal access. Anyway, if you go through the photos here, you'll see, number one, these industrial power lines that I was talking about, commercial power lines, whatever they're called. You'll see the terrain out here, what it's like, etc. Now, we have roughly about 7 million photos of this, but if you come down here to the later part of the gallery, our photographer went sort of to the edge of the mesa around sunset, and you can begin to see what the views are like out here if you go through these. Some of these are a little dark, but as you get out here to this, you can see, oh, look at this. I've got a view of the valley. This is how nice it is out here. And you'll get a sense of that as you continue to go through the photos. The drone video ultimately will give you a better idea of it. But the point is, you're up high, you've got these beautiful views. It's a very private area. As noted, not a lot of people living out here. So if this is an area that you do want to, develop, you're going to have a lot of privacy. Or if it's just a region that you just want to use to camp in, to RV in occasionally, you will have, people will leave you alone is my point. By the way, in regards to RVing, we have properties in New Mexico free of planning and zoning restrictions. This is not that. Rio Grande County has some very laid-back rules about zoning, but when it comes to RV usage in an area, they do actually have some sort of time restriction on it. Now, we have that discussed up here in this region. While they do not allow you to live indiscriminately out of your RV, you can park and camp one in the same spot for up to 3 months. Just longer than you'll find in most parts of the state. Additionally, you can apply for an extension without a building permit. That's without a building permit, and it will likely be granted, provided that you've kept the area clean, which in Rio Grande County really just means how you're disposing of waste with that RV. Now, one of the things I want to make you guys aware of that's discussed right here is the Mesa Prieta petroglyph project. So, as noted, there's a gate that bars access to this, to the mesa. And we have the code for the gate. We'll give you the code for the gate. That's not a problem. But the gate is ultimately controlled by this entity. Now, if you click on this, it's going to take you to their website. The Mesa Prieta Petroglyph Project is as you can see up here, a 501c3 community nonprofit organization that really tries to maintain, amongst other things, amongst the integrity and the beauty and the history of the region, they try to maintain the Mesa because it is a site where petroglyphs have been found. And if you click on this thing, take the virtual tour, it will show you these sort of regions where if you highlight this, you can see exactly what sort of petroglyphs have been discovered here and what the historical significance of them are, and so on and so forth. And you can kind of explore this as well and pick out some other spots here where you can see exactly what's in not only the area atop the mesa, but in the area that sort of surrounds the mesa. This whole Black Mesa area has sort of historical significance. So the point is, and if you're looking to buy this land and you do want to go out there and RV and camp, we hope, and I'm sure they hope as well, that you will, respect the region and, respect the history that's come before you and take good care of the land out here, etc. But the point is, this is a very interesting website. They're a very interesting organization, and you can kind of go through this and get a sense of exactly what they do out there and the historical significance of this region. So it's not only pretty, not only has these great views, but it also has these sort of ancient petroglyphs that you can find out there as you explore. This website has actually been developed quite a bit since the last time I looked at it. They've got a lot going on here, so I'd encourage you guys to take a look at this. With all this said, I just want to kind of go back to this gate issue, and I want to talk to you about access and how to scout this property. As noted on the map, this is the entrance to the mesa. This is what you're going to find when you come in off the highway. This is the gate. It was locked when our photographer got there, and then he was able to open it. For the record, this is there's like a lockbox over here. You enter the key code for the lockbox. The lockbox opens up. There's a key. You take the key. You open the gate. The key goes back inside the lockbox. So the key code that we have, it's not a physical key itself. It's just a 4-digit code that opens the lockbox. We've never had any difficulty with it in the past. So anybody who wants to go out there and scout it, please contact us in advance. And of course, anybody who buys the property from us, we'll give you that. But the point is, I just want to show you guys how to get to this region, where this is on a map, because I always get questions about driving directions out here. So first off, these roads on Google Maps tend to have multiple different identities. But the point is, if you make your way out here to where the 74 meets the 582, if you could somehow make your way out past town I can't pronounce, Owinge, I'm sure I've massacred that, and you get out here to where the 74 meets the 52, as long as you turn off on the 582, you're going to head up this road. Now, in some places on Google it's the 291, on some it's the 57, but the point is, this is the road that is ultimately, when I stop scrolling, will take you to the entrance to the mesa itself, which, as I noted, yes, there we go, is way over here. Okay, so the point is, you're going to be running parallel to Rio Grande. There's going to be some home sites on your right-hand side, and then you're going to see this turnoff with the gate over here. That's how you're going to access the top of the mesa. Now, I will say in the past, people who have bought land from us, who've started living up there, who have even started camping up there regularly, have told me there's a second way into the mesa that they've seen like power company trucks taking. I want to point out to you where I think that is, and I'm pretty confident this is what they're referencing. But here on the back end of the mesa, it looks like the mesa kind of drops down and becomes more of a hillside on the back end here. Point being, this may be the second access point that people have referenced to me. And I've heard of sort of industrial county trucks going up there, utility company trucks and whatnot, but that could be accessed in off here. Again, this is not the route of choice. This is not the preferred route. But I know this second route does exist up to the top of the mesa. And I've been made aware of that by people who bought land out there. The road I just showed you earlier is the easiest way to get to this thing. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. With all that said, guys, if either one of these are properties that you are interested in and you would like to purchase them, please come up here, click the Buy Now button. It will take you to secure checkout, where we will ask you for some credit or debit card information, along with legal name for deed, tax address, where's the county going to set their negligible tax bill every year. Land up here is really inexpensive because, again, you can't get water, there's no utilities up here, etc. So the tax value of the land is very low. So it's like $15 a year for a almost 5-acre piece of land. Point being, fill out this information, agree to the terms of service, click next. On the next page, we will ask you for credit or debit card information. Fill all that out, And congratulations, you have just purchased the property. For the record, as with all the lots here on Hemingway land, we own the property. So once you give us money, as far as we are concerned, you are now the new owner. Practically speaking, it's going to be about 3 weeks before you'll have a hard copy of the deed in your hand. The way that process works is within 24 hours, we're going to get you a copy within your email. Once you approve it, tell us we spelled your name right, things like that. We're going to autograph it, notarize it, mail it off to the county to be recorded. County records, and then they forward it on to you. So again, about 3 weeks before that's in your possession, but the process starts immediately after checkout. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, with all that said, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you like this. Again, we've only got these 2 lots in the Black Mesa. I don't anticipate having any more anytime soon. So if this is something that interests you, I'd encourage you to act sooner rather than later. With all that said, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.